I think we're going live right now, folks. So we are, I'll wait for a few people to get on. Right now, what we're going to be fixing is, not that, but we're going to be fixing that. What that is that is a, that's a bad dent, first of all. Number one, it's deep. Two, it's, how shall I say? It's been worked before, right? So now we're going to give you a lot of different point of views of how we're going to be fixing this dent. I'm going to explain some of the tools that we're going to be doing here. So if you are just joining me, my name is Myke Toledo, the old school personal PDR trainer. I've been here doing dents since 1991, been training since 2001. And we've got a little treat for you. So I'm going to kind of give you guys some insight about the most common thing that happens with PDR students is that, or PDR techs, is that they just don't know how to finish. This dent is pretty bad. Okay, like it looks like it's chewy. Let me just get my pointer here, my tap down, because I'm going to be using this too. So we've got a secondary low up here, and then we've got a pit, and then we've got some real tightness around here. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this dent back in, then we're going to reset it, and then reset high by pushing, and reset down low again. So you'll see what I mean later on. But I am going to go over some tools, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can check out some of this stuff. It is live, so yep. So, Hens, how you doing? I'm getting used to my my stuff right here. What's up, Jared? How you doing, buddy? I think, yeah, there it is, Jared. I'm catching a live. Yeah, and you're not eating dinner right now either. So, cool. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over some of the tools that I wanted to kind of go over, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So some of the tools that we're going to be using for this is that we're going to be using, it's called the door tool or the door lord right here. And you can see that is, it's a flag tool, we call it, or a paddle tip, blade tip, you know, and so we'll get you some more close-ups on that. In fact, I will, let me give you that close-up right here. This is the tool right here, as you can see. And that's what we're going to be using, and we're going to be using the end game right here too. So if you take a look at this end game, right, it has, you can, let me see, I don't think I have it in all the way here. Oh, there it goes. This is an older, shall I say, what is this, older handle I have from Anson. So let me go this way here. Yeah, I don't know why I can't, there it goes. So what this does, let me see where I'm at here. Yeah, we'll go here, here, here. This has a button switch like right here, right? And so you can actually adjust the positioning on the fly by just pushing this button. I call it the end game. It's got a little bit of a 15-degree angle. You can see it cocks up like this. And again, I can position it the way I want. So FYI, why do you think this dent like happen? Why did it get all chewy in there? Is because you see this tip right here, the way it is. For a beginner, if that dent is too deep, this contact at the tip can make it really chewy. And another common thing is that students or beginners, they look at the center of the dent too fast and they go right into it. Now, there are different ways to attack a dent. If you're doing fog, there's one other way that they do it. We do it is that you can hit the center much quicker and you can spiral out or you can spiral in. Okay, so because you can see the center of the dent much easier than you can a line board reflection, the lines give you a lot of detail, as you guys can see right there, right? Lots and lots of detail. Okay, matter of fact, it gives you the orange peel. It gives you the curvature of the dent. There's a lot there going on. All right, let me just go back to this shot. That way we get a wider shot here. I'm not going to answer any questions right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get to that later. What I really would like to do is just kind of just show you the technique about how I keep it clean. This is a very common thing that happens with students, is that they get into the dent, it gets chewy, it goes south, it either gets better or it gets worse, and for most people it gets worse. One thing you have to do is understand what tool you're going to use. And if you're going to use a paddle tip, you need to protect it, right, in the beginning and for deeper dents. When you're learning, you don't want any tape on it because you want to see where the tool is at all times, right? So some of the things that I like to use is called gaffer's tape, right? So let me see if I can. So here is the tool itself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap that tip just like this. And what it does is it creates a cushion for that tip. Just a little bit there. Now what this will do is allow me to push a lot more metal without chewing it up. All right, I'm going to come down here. You can see how it's going to, let me get that piece of loose tape out of there, how that creates like more of a soft tip for that blade. And that's what we want. We don't want to create more work for ourselves in this. Let me see here. I will look at this. Just did a 5-week at Ding King, and it's okay. I got good news for you. Hens, Hens. I'm just going to call you Hens because I don't know the proper way to pronounce that, or if that's just your name on screen. But the purpose of this video here, ladies and gentlemen, is to help you guys understand that there is going to be a bridge between live training, personal training, like coming in personally, and recorded videos. Now you're going to have me as a live instructor, and in the future you'll have other instructors too as well, with questions and answers, stuff like this, like you're going to mess up, right, and get through it and get all the basics and stuff. So we are going to be launching Dent Trainer Live in the spring of this year. So this is a little taste test. This is not even fully the way we're going with this, but this gives you a little taste test of how good the training and how detailed we are at doing PDR and being passionate about it. So let me get into that explanation there, okay? So, and we'll go for that. I appreciate that, Hens, too. I'll throw that up there too. So let me see if I can get that bigger there. Luckily, I've been watching enough guys like Myke here and kind of learn it on my own. I learned a lot more watching YouTube than going to that school in 5 weeks. So I'm sorry you had a bad experience there, buddy. But hey, your determination will get you through there. All right. So let's do this. Let's go. Let me see where I'm at here. Let's go this. Let's do a split screen here. Okay. That way you can see the handle being pushed. Now, one thing about the handle, if you guys look, right, this is actually at an angle, the handle itself. The handle itself is at an angle, right? Meaning it's not completely straight like you would have it, like most guys will have it like this, right? You don't want it like that, because what happens is when you go to push, your wrist should stay straight, right? It should stay nice and straight. And that's how you want it. I like to apply it here. So watch my hand. And by the way, having extra length with this, with your end game, is going to give you a tremendous amount of leverage. And you see how when I'm pushing, my wrist stays straight. Everything stays straight. Now let me show you the mechanics, okay? So generally, I like to be comfortable. I like to sit down after I know how to do this a lot, right? But for you gentlemen or ladies, you're going to keep your hand here. Keep your hand right here, right, on top, just like this. And the point is that you're going to lean in and then twist. So I'm going to lean in and twist. You see that? That's the main thing. This gives you tons of leverage, tons of control. A lot of mistakes is that people don't lean enough and they just twist, and that doesn't give them enough leverage or control on the dent. Now, luckily, this tool right here, this door lord, has a lot of kick, right? So you shouldn't have that much trouble. But if you look, if you see me pushing, right? I'm leaning in, okay? This is a great habit to do. I'm using my body weight for that tool. That's set up, okay? So let's do a split screen again, okay? Another thing I want to do is, you see this finger right here? It's my guide finger, right? It goes up and down. If I want the tip to go forward, the handle goes back. If I want the tip to go backwards, the handle goes forward, okay? So let's take a look and watch the reflection, okay? I'll tell you where I'm at, okay? So we're gonna come down. Where am I at, right? I'm right here. See the pinch? I hold it and let go. Hold it, let go. Now I'm not gonna go through, this is almost like PDR fundamentals, but I'm just giving you guys a little bit of insight of what I'm doing. So some of you guys are like, yeah, I know that, Myke. Tell me how to freaking get this unchewed, all right? So I'll aggressively come into the top part of that dent. I don't need to over push it. I'm just trying to see if I can set it flat. And that's what I'm doing right there. So one almost pretty much gone out of the way. By the way, if you notice my board, right, it's 1/8" lines. That means very thin, more detail. If this bothers you, if this is too much detail, what we do is we bring the board in. You see that? We bring the board in. The more you bring the board in, right, the less detail you see, but you see the obvious that's left. If you want more detail, you pull the board back and you can see a ton of detail along with the orange peel of the reflection. Does that make sense? So I'm telling you guys, ain't nobody more passionate than me when it comes to teaching paintless dent repair. I will give you the goods and the details. I will tell you what's going on. If you're struggling, give me a call, holler at me. We are going to be doing this later on in the spring, and I'm only going to train 4 people at a time on live on this, because I feel like that is you don't want a bunch of people and you don't want a chaos and stuff like that. So back to this, all right? Here we go. Tool positioning, right? The reflection is a little too much to see, to be honest with you, for me. I'll bring that in just a bit, all right? I'm looking at the black line. Obviously, I see owl's eyes. This has been pushed before. This has been butchered, and it has been abused, right? So we're actually gonna reset. We call it a reset high. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push and hit that center as best as possible. And the reason why I'm able to push that without chewing it up is because, remember, I got that tape on there, okay? I'll bring it in a little bit more because I don't wanna see too much distraction. I wanna see just what's obvious. Look at that. How you guys doing? You guys like it? If you guys like it, give me some love. Give me some likes. If you do, give me a comment too later on. I will definitely do my best to answer it. Right now, I am just explaining how to get out of a jam, how to keep it clean, how to undo a mess, right? So I'm gonna push. I'm gonna over push it. All right. One thing I have to do too is every once in a while you gotta check your tape. All right. Got to make sure that that tape isn't going through. Right. So we don't see any sparkle. Oops. We don't see any sparkle. We don't see anything busting through, and we definitely don't see any more chewy marks right there. I am gonna open it up a little bit because it's deep, and I don't want to jeopardize making it worse, right? So we're going to take a tap down. By the way, the tap down that we are going to be using today And let me show you, like that was the door lord. Yes, we know that was the door lord we're using. We're also going to be using these tap downs that you see right here. Okay. So the one on the left is a Guardian with a Galaxy tip. I know it's confusing. I'll show you. I'll talk about that later. The Guardian cap is the yellow piece that goes on top of the tip. The other one is the VIP, right? So I'm actually going to go. Let me show you that right. Actually, here. Actually, no. I'll keep it there. Let me do that. Let's do that. Okay. I actually got them right here. So here is the VIP. Very good. Like they make metal ones. This is the match grade VIP. Fantastic tip. By the way, this is the shock blocker. Another fantastic tool as well. This is the Guardian. And if you take the cap off, which I like to do in this case because I'm going for fine detail, a match grade smaller tip, right? It's going to fit right into that edge right there, right around there, okay? And we're gonna open this up. We're gonna play open it up. By the way, I got some new cool paddles right here. These paddles are sick. I got them at MTE, Dent Vision, and this is called the Patty. This is, you can get this at Willy Quick. Surprisingly really good, but right now let's use that. Okay, actually let me go back to this part right here. That way we get some good action right there. So my tip, I'm gonna hold it just like this, or I can hold the tip like this. I definitely wanna make sure I get my fingers out of the way, right? I wanna make sure I see that. I'm gonna stay inside, right in this side. Open that sidewall up. Open this edge up over here. Right away, you can start seeing it being a little bit more shallow. And I know it's gonna look a little still messy. Don't worry, it's gonna clean up. It's gonna clean up. This is an advanced, keep it clean repair, right? This isn't something that you beginners would be able to tackle right away. This is kind of like right in the middle of the road of a PDR tech. Some PDR tech's been doing dents for freaking, decade, and they get into this mess and then they just give up. But this is very common, and don't be afraid because you're not alone. We've all been there. We've all been there. Okay. All right. So here we go. Yeah, we're gonna do split screen again. Let's do that because we want to show the tool. And we're gonna come through here. Right, see that guide finger right there, right? I got lots of leverage right here to push this dent out. Come in. Woo! Nice. Again, if you are having a hard time, I'll zoom in just a bit, see if we can get that. Gosh dang, guys, you guys are getting some detail right here. I'm getting some detail. So let me explain something with the tool, the dent. Right here, this is what we're seeing. We're seeing the outside pinch. We're seeing another pinch over here, and this is the center, right there. You can, if you're a sharpshooter and you're really good at pinpointing, then go ahead and go for the center. However, you miss the center, you're going to make the sidewalls way more sharper than they need to be. We call this right now a volcano, right? Because it looks like a butthole, honestly. Right? You got a pinch over here, pinch here, and the center there. Personally, me, I like to tap down, right? I like to tap down. Because when you tap down correctly, you give yourself another great chance to do it again. when you don't tap down correctly and you go into the dent wrong, too aggressive, and then you frustrate pushing, you're going to get one chance. You know what that one chance is? No, you get two chances. Sorry, you get two chances. The two chances are called slim and none, right, at fixing that dent. Check our tape again, make sure it looks pretty good. Yeah, looks good. Hope you guys are enjoying the nice little tutorial here. So we're going to come in here and work this out. Look, it's coming. It's like it's getting more shallower. It's tight. I'm going to bring that board in just, well, no, actually. And I have a secret weapon too, which, you know, Myke Toledo's not no spring chicken anymore, man. I think I look at my old videos, and I have brown hair, not gray hair anymore. Okay, open it up again. Right. Let's go right here. That way you can kind of see everything when I'm doing a little bit. Make sure. This is the part that's hard, right? It's understanding what, if that, is that a high? Is that a high? Is that a low? It's a little chewy inside from the beginning, you know, from the early stages of one of my students, you know, doing a deeper dent, right? But since I said, you know, stop, don't fix it. Let's leave that one alone. Let's do another one. I'm going to do a little tutorial on this one, right? And you see how I keep my fingers out of the way? This is how your vision should be. You should not be like this, ladies and gentlemen. You should not be like that and tapping down. I don't care. You have to make sure that your fingers are out of the way and you see what you can see through the reflection. Do you understand? Like, it needs to be clean and opened up correctly by seeing the good vision on there, right? Switch that back to here. I'm going to push again. And I'll read some comments in a second, okay? So, oh yeah, this thing's coming out. Now, the main thing is that you don't want to cause any more chewies, right? You don't want to make anything more tighter. The only thing I wasn't prepared right here is, like, I use a magnifying glass for really deep, fine stuff like this, right? I can actually see better through my camera or my big screen watching this than I can myself doing the dent. It's crazy right now because the detail is there. So let's go in, let's tap this down. This will take passes, not like several. Like, it could take 15, 20 passes when you're doing dents this deep, okay? Look at that. Now, I just want to let you know it's coming together because you can see an owl's eyes in there. It's not as many rings as it was before. It's more of an owl's eyes, right? Handle still pretty good, right? See this hand? This is my guide hand, always that way, okay? Walking it, finding that tool right above it, right just above it. Now more in the dent. Okay. Trying to get that center up. Oh, here's what happened, guys. Let's see here. Live. So I'm using an older, what do you call it? Handle from from Anson, the tequila, and it's not compatible with this one. So let me get a different handle. Okay? That's why you heard it snap. No, I think my teeth went out on this. Don't worry, Mike's got backups. We're going to be using the Arced Angel right now. I'm going to show you what that tool looks like right here. See if you can see right here. Good old live right here. So this is the handle, right? I got it. I'm going to turn it this way. This is the tool. Look at that kick on there. I thought I snapped the tool, to be honest with you. So this is, woo. Let me open that up again, okay? Well, you know what, this is a good time to take a break. Like read some comments here. I'm still trying to get that focus here. And my underwear, I like that, dude. Standing up in my garage in my underwear, watching from Australia, kangaroo stole my clothes. Good deal, good deal. I'm gonna get into, I'm gonna get back into the video, but I just thought I'd say hi to everybody, and I'm glad everything's going well. Ricky Thompson, I put the Guardian on the VIP 2.0, works nice. Yes, I actually have that same thing. So Ricky, you're right. I do the same thing a lot because it adds a little bit more heaviness to it, right? And it works really fantastic. So, oh, so you don't see the tap downs, change camera. Sorry, let me make sure that you guys see it. You guys, let me see here. Let me make sure you guys see it. Do you see that tap down, right? All right, what were you not seeing, Brent? I want to make sure, because we want to get that correct here. Let's go. Were you guys seeing that right there? You guys are seeing that, right? And this is the tap down that we're using, okay? Anyhow, I'll read some more later. I just wanted to double check and see what's going on with that. So if you're still there, Jared, let me know. Okay. We're gonna open this up some more. What paddle am I using? Let's use this one. Listen, it's coming out really good. Now I don't have any tape on this arch angle yet, I'm not sure. We'll take a chance. Let's see what happens. Wow. That's how I want to look at that dent. Let me back up just a bit, so just in case it's too much detail for you guys. Yeah, let's do that, okay? Damn, I'm bummed, man. That's my door lord. I use that the most, man, actually. So, but it was an early edition, and I never got a newer version. So here we go, gentlemen. We're gonna come here. I'm gonna go, let's see. Yeah, we're gonna go like this. Arc Angels got a lot of kick as well. I think it's got 6 inches of kick instead of 5. Yep. So I want to push really clean. Make sure that I get all the little micro lows up. I'm going to adjust that handle too just a bit. You see this handle, how it's more facing straight? I don't want that. I want a little bit more. It gives me a little bit more leverage and kick. And just, I'm trying to over push that center, okay? Over push it. Hold on a second. You guys are gonna laugh. I really need it, honestly. I'm gonna get my magnifying glass. You guys, laugh all you want, but if you do a lot of detail work, this is the shizo. This right here. I know. Let's go here. This is what it looks like. Actually, let me go this one. That's what it looks like. Freaking good. Really, really good. All right. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think you guys can see it, me doing it in this case, but I'm going to be, oh, I don't want to be in, it's going to be in my shot, dude. Let me see. See if I can, yeah. We're definitely not going to put it in your shot. All right, forget it. I'm not going to use it in this one because it'll get in the middle of your guys' shot, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to bring this board in just a bit. I'm going to change the angle. And you can see this dent does not want to come out very easy. So what I'm trying to get out now is this. See that bottom part? That right there? That needs to be pushed out. And then we can be almost in business here. Pushing, nice and clean. Tons of pressure. Tons of pressure. Let's see if you guys, I am putting a ton of pressure on this tool. And see how I overstretch it? It's like, it's gotta be almost like a glue pull. We're still far away from how clean it would be as a glue pull, but I'm getting the depth out of that center. And what I'm doing is I'm resetting it high, and then I'll relax it by tapping it down, because remember, tapping down also helps relax the paint, okay? Also helps relax the paint. Now we're almost at a part where I can paint correct it, because there's some little bit of chewies in there. And chewies are really, that's one thing I say, like PDR is like a party when you're pushing a dent. Like it starts out really cool, everything's going chill, and then Chewy shows up, dude, right? Chewy and his Pokemon friends. Now, let's sand it a little bit, because it is getting a little bit, well, let's do this. Let's push a little bit more, just a little bit more, and then we're gonna color correct that. Paint correct it, shall I say. Not color correct it, but paint correct it. There is no secret. The only secret I can tell you guys is when you're pushing is go friggin' slow. Understand where your tool's at, have a leash on it. Don't get impatient. The minute you feel impatient, get off the dent. Get off the dent. I'm gonna sand it like this up high, how it's up high, and then we're gonna polish it, okay? We don't need a lot. We're just trying to control what we need to see, right? This is 2500, I believe. I believe it's 2500. Mr. Fox, I'm gonna put Mr. Fox in here. Those watching on a phone, turn your phone for better detail. Thanks, Mr. Fox. Thank you, Mr. Fox. How much will your live training class be? I haven't set a price yet, but it will include some tools for the basics, but it depends on what class you're signing up for. So we will have a tool package for it, because we want you to follow along, or at least ensure that you have the same type of tools or very similar. So yeah, stay tuned. I should be within a month or so, I should be getting close to what what this is all going to be, okay? But it's going to be great. Obviously, you can see like how it's going to be in this kind of scenario. But it's still got lots more polished stuff to do, okay? A lot more stuff. All right, so here we go. But thanks for asking, hence I appreciate that. So one more question here. Let's see. With that carbon fiber hail rod, do you recommend, and do you recommend a sharper tips for hail? I think Cole Fox is going to be, he can probably answer some of that. There are some really good tools right now. Obviously, Dent stuff, which is Cole's friend right there. Fantastic extendable hail rod. You got Carbon Tech. They've been around for a while with the hail rods. I'm looking at this screen. They've been around for a long time for that. And I think those are the two main leaders. I know Drew's Tools used to have one, but I think Ultra has a version. So yeah, but as far as sharp tools, yeah, one guy likes to use a soft tip on one side and a sharp tip on the other for the finishing. So yeah. All right, so let's take a look at this. Let's get a little buffer. All right, we'll buff some of that out here. We'll go that way. And yeah, there we go. Heck yeah. Now I can see. And this is another challenge, right, that students have, right? They don't know when to keep it clean, right? It's a little hazy. We'll get rid of that in a little bit. We'll buff it final. But look at, now I can clearly see what's low and what's high. I'm not getting distracted with all the Munchie, Chewies, friggin', I'll call it, you know, Chewy and Pokemons, right? I can clearly see what I'm doing now. I go, okay, this is a high right here. That's a little low to the left, right? Little low here. And if I move the board, I probably get a little bit low there, just a little bit low there. So if you move the board, right, as if you're moving your head, you can see that. But this is the pinch, and we're gonna knock down the pinch. But why do we knock down pinches? And do you guys know what the difference between a high spot and a crown? All right, and a pinch is considered the high spot, okay? What's the difference between a high spot and a crown? Go ahead, let me know. I'll give you a free pack of the giant Atlas tabs. Those football, they pull big dents too. They probably do a really good job. So, yeah, Cole says he uses both soft tip and sharp tip. Yeah, just as I thought, right? All right, so let's get back to this one. All right, a little hazy, don't worry. I'm gonna buff that up a little bit, but I just need to see. I just needed to see. All right, let's make sure Myke Toledo's arm isn't in the way. So this is why I like the sharper tap downs, because it's more precise. I tell you what, Mike, you got some balls doing this live. I tell you what, heck yeah. I'm tired of seeing students getting ripped off, poached on the PDR beginners Facebook page. That's like the blind leading the blind over there. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I just feel like if you want to learn the wrong way, go hang out over there. So, all right, let me polish that a little bit. It's a little hazy. Okay, let me polish that a little bit more. All right, let me just, there we go. There we go. I'm losing my focus here. Hold on a second, guys. Let me pull this back. I tell you what. Yeah. It's looking good. I got a little bit more left to tap, and And I'll show you what that looks like too as well. Okay, so let me get this zoomed in just. It's very touchy, guys. I just make sure that you guys can see what I see. Okay, up. Freaking Myke. You had it good, Myke. There we go. Okay. You had it good. Still don't like that. Myke Toledo. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're gonna tap down a little bit more. We call this making it symmetrical, round, clean. You don't want any chewies in there. Don't mistap either, okay? All right, that's called a good clean setup right there, right? Now, remember how early it was super chewy, hard to read? Now I'm gonna just dial it in. It's very soft and tender. There's no, what do you call it? I don't know, hopefully you guys can see a little bit more. Maybe I'll just go back to this one right here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There we go. I have to get you guys the detail, right? Woohoo! Let me pull it back a little bit. Please be patient with me, guys. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we're pushing. Nice and clean, very patient. I'm not digging very hard into this repair. I'm just, what do you call it? It's like baking a cake, like kneading the dough, right? Like you push, and you're looking for your next push. And if as you push, there's a little bit low that sticks out, that's where you go, right? You just control. I do want to let you guys know too, though, when I'm pushing, right, I'm going to mimic my head. When I'm pushing, I'm looking like this every second. I'm moving my head slightly like this. I'm rocking the camera to mimic what I'm doing with my head. See how if I move my head, look at the line reflection going across the dent, right? That's what I'm doing, all right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the board in the direction of the dent. And I'm going to straighten up, making this nice and clean all the way up, okay? Looking. Let's do this. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit more aggressive now. No tape on here, right? Because I want the tooltip to fit only in the centers of those little micro lows. I don't want to push the shoulders up. I'm gonna move over here. And remember I was saying earlier, I said you're finishing, right? When you push a center pit, it should look like a glue pull, right? Still got some, let me show you what I got, right? We're not done. This is the hard part. You got a little low there. You got a low here. But to relax it, I'm gonna tap. I'm gonna tap it just a little bit more. Oops, sorry guys. How's that? Now, if you're tapped down and makes marks for some reason, then you want to put a guardian cap on top of it, okay? You want to put a guardian cap on it. All right. Thanks for everybody for watching, man. So let me get this dialed in now. pushing, and then I'm going to give you guys a bird's eye view, right? I'm going to give you how I'm holding the tool and pushing. Damn camera, this thing shows too much detail. Move the board here, right? What dent? What dent you talk about? It's clean, it's perfect. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Oh, here I'm kicking the camera here. There we go. And I'll read some comments in a second. Let me just get to phase 3 here. All right, I'm gonna move my handle more because I'm a little bit further away from it. So there we go. Man, you know, back in the day, I know you guys hear this a lot, right? Us old guys talk about it. We didn't have these ergonomic handles and tool positionings, and you know, you guys got it good these days now. I'm still pushing pretty good. You can see my hand kind of shaking, right? Tapping down. And then I'll read some comments here. Cole Fox, I'm sorry, I didn't read your stuff, dude. So also using a clean pad and keeping that flat will also help. Use a snap-on rotary polisher and clean my pad every 3 uses. He's right, I don't clean my pad enough. And Cole's been in the, you know, he's in the detail business, so, or he was. Sean, would this be the same process as far as a line versus fog? It's similar. It's similar. I think the difference that you guys are going to have with fog, and Cole can probably agree or not because he's a fog guy, and Jared is that how you attack it first. But the techniques are pretty much the same. You got to still, at deeper dents, you got to open it up and then push and open it up and push. So yes, it is the same in technique wise. A little bit different as far as approaching it, shall I say? Okay. So let me hope that answers the question on that. Hey, Emerson. Hello, Master. Congratulations from Japan. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Emerson? Japan was awesome too, by the way. Me and Cole loved the hell out of that place, dude. Okay. Myke, when you tap down with a line board, are you tapping on the black lines or the white line? A good question. I get that a lot too. I actually tap on the black line, the more contrast. It doesn't honestly matter because when you're tapping, it doesn't matter if you're looking at the white or not because the width of the reflection and the contrast of the colors are the same. So it doesn't matter. But I like looking at the black because it helps me see it better. I'm colorblind, by the way, or red. I can see colors, by the way. So here's another hiccup that guys have, and ladies, is that when you're tapping down, if it doesn't go down, tap it down. Who cares if it goes low? Get that high out of there. Stop playing with it. You see how close I was? And then I'm like, you know what, heck with it. Just gonna reset the dent. This is not an easy dent. Right? The challenging part is getting it to this point, right? Now look, see, this is how I move my board like that. You see how it's in the dark, right? And then those white areas is the lowest part, right? Now, if this wasn't as low, it would be solid dark, right? It'd be either black or red, whatever color it is. It would be more solid. But since it's a little bit lower, then it's got a whiteness inside of it. So it's going to show a different color inside, okay? And I'm skipping a lot of detail, ladies and gentlemen. I won't be skipping the details in the live PDR training as far as for beginners or for the struggling PDR techs. We are going to have a struggling PDR tech course, and this would be something similar to what's going to be in there. Look at this. Now we're starting to see the light here. I gotta over push just a bit. I really want this to be nice and clean. I'm trying to join everything together. You see that? How I'm pushing that? And I'll come over to the next line over and bring that. And this is real metal, by the way. This is a, it's 2001 freaking Chevy SS. What the hell do they call this thing? I don't know what they call it. Anyways, let me move the board. Not an Impala. I don't know what it is. I forgot what this is. They don't make them anymore, obviously. So I still got a little bit of a low here, right? And it's a little funky right there, but we're really going to concentrate on that low right there. Finish him. That's right. Like PDR is like Mortal Kombat here. Look at that. Look, if you don't get this part out, when you go to tap down, it freaking comes back. It'll come back. I think there's something still right there, but we're going to take the tension off and tap down. I'll read some more questions in a little bit. So let's tap down first, and then I'll go back there. Careful that you don't make any more work for yourself. And that means by over tapping, right? Careful how the muscle memory you have, how hard you hit, how much pressure. I'll move the board back a little bit further. I know it seems like we're going round and round, but it is the part of the process. I'll move the board more across the panel like this, right? Because I want to see what's still left, right? And this is the best way to do that, is to look across and go, okay, here's the tension. I'm hitting pretty good too, by the way. Okay. Oops, now I'm gonna. Get a little harder to read because of the camera right now. It's because of the angle, but let me put it back this way. That way. Good. There we go. Now it's super shallow, ladies and gentlemen. Now what we do is we just barely push, and you can get a sharp tool. In fact, we might just do that right now. Sharp tools are fantastic for finishing. Sharp tools are accurate tips. They're just not sharp, okay? I call them accurate. There's some sound deadening in here. That's what I'm fighting right there. Okay. Turn the board again, and that's what I got left, right? This is why I turn the board at certain angles, to follow what's low, okay? Follow what's low. Before I get into this last little bit, finish this part, let's read some questions, right? Let me get a chair too, because I need to concentrate here. All right, so Cole's back in the day with snap-on bent screwdrivers. That is true. That's true. We all done that. Brandon Schmitz, right? Cole Fox, I love my snap-on rotary with 1-inch pads. Yep, I do. I got that same one too. Okay. Okay, let me read this one here, guys. Okay, I always used to feel defeated resetting the dent when I started, like all my progress was set back. Yeah, Freddie, that is completely normal, and that's actually part of the process, by the way. The deeper the dent, the more you're going to reset. That's just, it's gonna happen. That's just the way it goes. So, so don't feel like that anymore. All right. Okay. How do I like the end game handle, Myke? Worth the upgrade? I wouldn't call it an upgrade. I would call it a convenience. But is it a good handle? Absolutely, because the convenience of you being able to position yourself without having to break your concentration is fantastic. I like the angle too as well. I highly recommend it. So if that's what you're asking me, I would get it for sure, 100%. Mr. Jack Bucknell, what up, Jack? How you doing? Woo! Okay. And if Patrick, you need, okay, you be watching this to learn how how to read dents. Hey, what's up, Brandon? Thanks, man, for joining us, dude. Dude, let's see here. Myke is why I learned and loved this. Love lines. Dude, Brandon, thanks, man. I appreciate that, man. Means a lot, man. Appreciate that, dude. Really do. Monte Carlo. Dang straight, Mr. Fox. You're right. This is a Monte Carlo. Yep, that's what it is. Okay, everybody's there. Okay, so Steve Allen, you're going to be the last question before I go to finish this dent. So I just caught this, and I'm going to watch the Grandmaster from the beginning. Much love from the north. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. So just in case you guys are joining me, this is a little taste test of what we're going to be doing live PDR training. And of course, it's going to be paid, but it's going to be focused on the beginners and people who are struggling. And then, of course, I'll do some of these like this on YouTube every now and then, unannounced, and that's how I work. But stay tuned, because we're going to really have a lot of cool things that are going to be part of this training, which is going to be released, and we're going to start our first signups in spring. If you want to be notified, get the first one to be notified, go to denttrainer.com, sign up for the email list. I highly recommend it, because we are going to have very limited spots in the beginning, okay? I'm not going to train 50 people at once. That's just not how I work, all right? So it'll be 4 people. But let me get back into this dent here, okay? What'd you say? Lines are the... Okay, Mr. Fox, let's go into the dent, all right? Actually, let's go split screen, all right? Thank you guys. So right now we have it tilted, right? I'm going to just squeeze those little, follow the yellow brick road, which is the fat spot, right? Which is the fat line. That's how I do it, right? Just over push that sucker. And then come over to the next one. Right? And we call this next part cross-checking, right? We're gonna make sure it looks good from all angles. I mean, meaning I wanna make sure I got the lows out, like the missing, any hiding lows. So how do I do that? I turn my board. Actually, I see one identifying right there. And there it is still, right there. You see it? That's what I'm gonna go for. Much different, right? Much better than how it started. And so don't, you guys think, oh man, it took me 5 hours to get this dent out. No, it took you 5 hours of learning, like understanding. You were taught. And most of the time you get paid, right? Sometimes you can be at a dealership and you're going to get paid to learn. And sometimes you say, oh, I failed. I didn't do a good job. That sucked. No, you remember your hard ones that are the big contributors to your successful ones. I bet you most of you guys, and I say this all the time, you can remember more of the dents that you didn't get out, the ones that you got defeated on, than you can your wins. I mean, don't get me wrong, you probably remember some of the good wins that you had. But, goddamn, in my camera, it looks like crap still. Because it is, Myke. Let's see. I'm still trying to get this super straight. Generally, what I do is I put a tab on here. There we go. That's what I want. I could put a tab on here, call it throwing a grenade on it, and then over pulling it on purpose, right? Just you shown gone? You shown gone? Let me take this off. This thing's in my way. It takes a lot of patience, right? Like, accurately. What happened to my camera? I didn't even touch this. How did it get out of focus? There we go. Barely there, guys. They were getting there, okay? I didn't think it was going to take this long, but I knew it was going to take long, okay? I knew it was going to take long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find a sharper tool, and we're going to go with, actually, we'll go with, actually, let's go ultra. We're going to go ultra. This is the sharp tip we're talking about. Okay, actually, let me go this one right here. Right here. And I'll read some more questions in a little bit. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. My wife is probably going, "Where are you?" Oh, this is why you want sharp tips, because, geez, it fits just right in that perfect. I'm not. You guys are gonna meme me. I'm not gonna be set up for the memes. It gets in the right where you want it. How's that? A little bit lower. A little bit lower. There we go. You have to over push it to get that center up. Okay? And then there's a little bit here. And this is the part that's tedious, right? Like, this is the part that you're like, okay, I see it. I am not alone, Myke. I mean, I thought I was doing it wrong. No, you're not doing it wrong. You're just not staying patient enough with yourself. You can see now it's finally starting to get straight. Just something like that. Okay, move it back, diagonal, and this is how you gotta keep going and looking for little lows, okay? So, anyhow, I'm gonna answer some more questions again. Tilt this out more. man, hold on a second here. Hold on. Hold up. So if you are actually have a, you know, you're at this point and maybe that tip is just making some marks, making some, maybe it's too sharp to push or tap, you definitely want to use something like this right here, this cap right here. Let me get that zoomed in here. There it is, just like that. All right. I'll tell you what, this thing picked up more orange peel than I wanted to. Good for you guys, bad for me. I thought you all right, Myke. I thought you. There you go. Oh. No. And then one more last tap down, and then we'll answer some questions. And you can polish this a little bit more if you wanted to. And this is pretty much the scenario on how to reset your dent, keep it clean. You'd have to go back in there a little bit more, right? And just do a little bit more touch-ups. Pull that back a little bit further. All right. Just go in there. In some spots, you just have to still over push. Like, I don't care. I'll still over push it, or I'll tap it down further. All right. And if you're a detailed guy, you'll stay on it and stay on it until you get it. Right. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay on this but I could sand it just one more little time, but I'm not going to do that now. You definitely don't want to be, first of all, if you start your dent super clean, you shouldn't have to sand at all, to be honest with you. All right. And there's just a little bit of texture right there. I'll tell you. Over push it. That's what you're doing at this point. You're fixing texture. You're what's the word? I know what I'm thinking. Reconditioning the paint back to what it looked like before, right? Because there's your tap down, I mean, excuse me, your pushes, right? Your sharp tips. Can create texture that you want. See how those little marks right there? That's what I was talking about. Like, that happens. And that's why you can put your Guardian on at this, later on. But those buff out, right? I think you guys get the gist now, right? I'm gonna tap down just one more time right here. I tell you what, folks, I tell you what. Let me see everybody here. Okay. Let me see if I read this one. Is it easier to be more precise with a line board or fog? I've only used fog, so I'm not familiar with the line board. That is very subjective, ladies and gentlemen. I think the it's not which reflection is better, it's what you understand better. Like that's all I can put it, right? I believe if you can learn both reflections, the better off you'll be, because sometimes you'll see a little bit different flickers in different reflections. I see it all the time. I'll take a crossboard, I'll use a Stuckey's light and have a line board in the middle of it, and I can see things I didn't see with the lines. Because sometimes the lines can give you too much information at once. And the fog is just like, oh, here it is. But then the lines will go, hey, yo, you're not as good you thought you were. Look at this, right? And same with fog. Hey, you got a little bit of a high spot that you didn't see before. So that it's subjective. Okay, tequila guarding. Yep, Freddie, that's right. Okay, so Sean, a repair like this, minimum maybe 200. Unfortunately, in my area, especially dealers, car lots, 40 to 50 bucks tops, really takes the art and skill, even fun out of it. Well, good statement, Sean. I know that's completely true. For a lot of techs and a lot of people, but that's why you want to go into retail, right? Because that's where you get appreciated. However, the wholesale market is a giant stepping stone. If you go into that dealership and a mentality thinking that you're getting paid top dollar and your repairs are getting top, right? Even though you're not getting paid top dollar, but you have to have that mindset that you have to fix every dent perfect until you can do it with your eyes closed. Then you have a right to be the 80% tech that they want you to be, that they're only willing to pay for, shall I say. But you have to make sure you have that mentality of being perfect as best as possible, because that is what's going to make you the most amount of money and graduate to the retail market and use just the dealerships as a stepping stone, right? But how much would I have charged for this? If I had to come into this dent and this dent was like this and someone else poked it up and did this to that, it's probably about a $350, $400 dent, easy. So that's what I would charge. Look how long it took me to do this, and I'm explaining it, showing it, struggling it. It's not an easy dent, right? So yeah, and it's still a little bit. I gotta polish that. Sorry, guys. It's still a little bit low, and it still needs a little bit more love. But let me just polish this out here. And I would take a rotary, or excuse me, an orbital polisher as well, and fix that too as well. You can see it's pretty straight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna go super crazy. I'm gonna get super low to the side, and that's for another long tutorial on that kind of case right there. I hope you guys, thought this was helpful. At least getting it to, actually, let me go here. At least getting it to that stage of the repair. Of course, this panel's been just molested, like left and right. So I'll take some time to read some more questions if you guys want, and I hope again you guys like this little bit of insight on keeping it clean. So what is going on here? Okay, so you probably get this a lot, but thanks for going out of your way to show us. Oh, dude, thanks, Sid. I appreciate that, buddy. Like I said, listen, from the heart, dude, from the perspective of a tech being first starting scared, not knowing if PDR is going to be for me, if this was going to be the right choice for me, being out on the lots until 8 o'clock at night until they kick me off the lot, making the dent different not necessarily getting it out, but changing the way the dent looked. And then one day I got a dent out, and then I was wondering, how in the hell did I do that, dude? Like, I was missing the why, right? I got it out, but how did I get it out? Why did I get it out? And I'd go into the next dent, and then I wouldn't get it out as clean as I did the other one, because I just didn't understand the why. And I was scared. And there was my stepdad. He was over there in the different county in Palm Springs, and I was here in San Diego, and I had to just do it, right? There was no online help. There was no Dent Trainer. There was no anything like that until 2000 came. But all I'm trying to say is that I can feel, I can relate to you guys who are struggling. Maybe you're looking for PDR training, personal PDR training. There's a lot of choices out there, and it's confusing. There's a lot of people out there that all of a sudden now they're trainers. But the part that's what makes a good trainer from one to the other is identifying your challenges. Like, when you get stuck, why are you getting stuck? And do you get the answer that you're looking for to help you move on quicker for your learning curve in paintless dent repair? So those are some main reasons why I train, and why I get the satisfaction of doing paintless dent repair for a living, and training students who become a career and have it, they're doing it for a living successfully. So that is why I do it. So yeah. What's your favorite tap down? I need to get ones for precision. So I was mentioning those, right? So let's take a look at those tools, right? So I'm going to show you. These are my tap downs that I go for, right? The ones I've been using just right now. So that's the Guardian tap down. The one on the right, the tip, I'm talking the tip, right? Is the VIP match grade. And those base, the left on is the VIP. That's the part that's holding this, right? That holds the tip. And then the right is the shock blocker, right? And so that's a pretty cool tool as well. Let me if I can go here. I know I'm getting all crazy on this thing here. See here, like these, right? Is it zooming in? Yeah. Ooh. So check this out. Excellent tap downs. Excellent. Most veteran techs have these. Most beginners should have them as well. All right, so that's why I put them up there. Okay. Yeah. Okay, hold on. This is a good question here. So, all right. So, how long did it take you until you were really good, Myke? Thanks. Okay. Probably took me, like, it's going to take me, I'm going to say it's going to take me 5 years. But that is not today. Like, I see techs who can get it down 3 to 6 months. I mean, I'm talking where it took me to get to 5 years. And I'm talking hard, sharp dents, creases, glue pulling, the whole 9 yards. But big smashes, that's going to take you a couple of years. But I think the more aggressive you are trying to learn, the quicker you learn. And if you're not afraid to fail and get your ass whipped, you're going to succeed much faster. But the difference between, wanting to be a good tech or charging for the value of your services? Do you know what the difference between that, and it has everything to do with everything, is your mindset. That is the real cause and effect of how successful you go. If you believe in yourself, you're going to become successful like quick. If you have that, and it's normal, okay? So what I'm trying to say is, if you can learn to not have that negative mindset and learn to believe in yourself more, you'll be just fine. And everyone does go through that. So, okay. Hey, you're welcome, Alonzo. Let's see. Okay, Robert. I love your videos, Myke, and a new tech, always watching it to get better and learn new techniques from you guys that have been doing it for years. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. So, and Alonzo, thank you. Appreciate that. And I hope I didn't skip too many people. All right. I would like to learn PDR. Antonio, like there's a few ways you can learn from me. You can go on denttrainer.com and learn online, just strictly through the videos. Spring, we're going to have live PDR training, and you can also learn from me directly, personal training. If you want to learn personal training, then go to denttime.com, book an appointment with me, 15-minute free consultation, and we can talk about the details if you're serious, okay? So those are some options that we will have. So thanks, Antonio. I appreciate you guys all watching, man. So Dominic, what up, Dom? Dominic is PDR Canada. He owns PDR Canada out there. He's actually a trainer himself. Really good, passionate guy out there, dude. So I'm glad to see you on here, Dominic. Okay, guys, I am going to let you guys go. I hope you guys really liked this this scenario. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to show you guys there is some still flaws in here, but at least I got you guys to that point and tell you what I would fix still at this point. I would look from the side. You know, I would be more, you know, looking across that panel with that board about probably another 2-3 feet back further, and then really dial that in and just tap it in a little bit of pushing. So that's just, you know, a little bit of this right here, a little bit low, a little bit of pinching right in this section right here, okay? But it's clean, it's flat, right? It's flat. So that's what we want to learn and to get out and go from there, okay? I hope you guys have a good night. Hope you're having a good morning in Japan. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks everybody for watching. Take care.